Mercedes collapsing after Lewis Hamilton's shocking statement. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Mercedes news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. Lewis Hamilton has admitted that the 2024 F1 season has been the worst start he has faced to a campaign throughout his extensive career in the sport, having retired from the Australian Grand Prix on lap 17 with a mechanical issue. Hamilton had endured a tough weekend at the Albert Park circuit prior to the race, with the 7-time world champion admitting to feeling flat after being eliminated from Q2 of Saturday's qualifying. He then was forced to pull off the track at turn 10 during Sunday's Grand Prix after reporting an engine failure over the radio 17 laps into the event, meaning that Mercedes left Melbourne with no points following George Russell's crash in the final stages of the race. Hamilton's best result so far has been a P7 in Bahrain, and, speaking after his retirement in Australia, the Briton was quizzed on the change in the situation, having gone from appearing optimistic after first driving the W15 to branding FP2 in Melbourne as one of the worst sessions he had experienced in some time. "I mean, this is the worst start to a season I've ever had," he responded. When pushed on whether it had been even worse than the past 2 years, Hamilton added, "Oh yeah, for sure. And it's worse than 2009, I think." Reflecting on whether this year had been especially frustrating given his positivity after testing, Hamilton acknowledged that the situation had proved challenging both for himself and the whole Mercedes outfit. "I think it's tough on the spirit," said the 39-year-old. "I think for everyone in the team, when so much work has gone on throughout the winter for everybody, and you come in excited, motivated, and driven, and then you're with the mindset that you're going to be fighting for wins, and then obviously that's not the case. And then you either get maybe second or third, but that's not the case, and it cascades a bit further down and you just go through the motions. It's challenging, but I continue to be inspired by the people I work with. They continue to put in the effort and show up, and that's the most important thing." While disappointed by the outcome of his weekend in Australia, Hamilton said that he was maintaining a sense of gratitude. "Surprisingly, I feel pretty good," he remarked. "Just trying to keep things in perspective. It could be so much worse. I'm really grateful to be here. I've really enjoyed my time here in Australia. I'm still enjoying working with the team. Of course, I'd love to be fighting for wins and actually finishing races. It's never a great feeling when you've come all this way and you don't see even half of the race, but what I know is that we will bounce back. We will eventually get there, we just have to continue to chip away at it." Hamilton was also asked whether he had learned from experience of the importance of staying level-headed and keeping an eye on the bigger picture. "Absolutely. I think that's exactly it," the Mercedes driver answered. "I think it's easy to get caught up in the moment and be focused on this one thing, but the bigger picture is definitely the focus at the moment. And also, just realizing that you can't control everything. You get frustrated because you don't have control. If you can just let go and be in the moment, it's not great, I'm not happy, but I'm going to have a great day tomorrow and I'm going to train hard this week." Mercedes endured their worst qualifying session of the season at the Australian Grand Prix on Saturday, leaving 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton crushed and team boss Toto Wolff seeing no hope of catching Red Bull in the short term. Hamilton was eliminated in Q2 to qualify 11th, his worst result at Albert Park since 2010, while George Russell qualified 7th for Sunday's race as the team's hopes of rebounding in Melbourne suffered a major blow. Russell's fastest lap in Q3 was a gapping 0.8 of a second shy of Red Bull driver Max Verstappen's best, the Dutchman taking his 3rd pole of the season and 4th in succession. Briton Hamilton said there was a shopping list of problems with his car, while Wolff gave a gloomy assessment of their situation. "I think we have a car that's difficult and you can be narrowly in and out of the window," Wolff said. "It's the whole interaction of aerodynamics and mechanical and the tires. It's never a single topic. But we are going to just keep our heads down and push through this. I think it's an illusion to go closer to Red Bull in the short term, but I still have to believe that there is more in this car." The day had started brightly for Mercedes, with Hamilton 4th quickest and within a 1/10 of a second of Ferrari's pace-setter Charles Leclerc in the final practice session. But the bubble burst in qualifying. Hamilton said his car's inconsistency messes with the mind. The second story is Verstappen clarifies Red Bull contract situation amid strong Mercedes links. Max Verstappen has commented on his future at Red Bull amid rumors that he could leave the team. Verstappen's situation at the Milton Keynes-based squad has been put into question in recent weeks following the drama surrounding team principal Christian Horner. The Dutchman's father, Jos Verstappen, had a falling out with the Red Bull chief in Bahrain after the latter was cleared of any wrongdoing following an internal investigation into allegations of inappropriate behavior towards a female colleague. Horner's position is still seemingly under threat as F1 heads to Australia, as well as 80-year-old legendary figure Helmut Marko, and Verstappen is believed to have a clause in his contract that runs until 2028 that allows him to leave Red Bull immediately if either of Horner or Marko depart. Verstappen has been linked with a move to Mercedes to replace Lewis Hamilton, with Sky F1 pundit Johnny Herbert claiming that there is substance to this deal and it is close to being agreed. But speaking with Sky Sports in Australia, Verstappen made it clear about his intentions to stay at Red Bull. When questioned again over the ongoing situation surrounding the team, he said, I just focus on the job that I have to do. That's, of course, the driving side of things, and when I go home, I think about a lot of other things which don't include Formula One, and I have a lot of fun as well. For me, these kind of things also, I know that I have a contract with the team until the end of 2028, and I'm very happy also with all the people that I'm working with. The car's going really well, So we should be focusing on that and really enjoy what we are doing, and I think that we do that. Of course, the previous weekends there was always a lot of talk, but I think we try to put that behind us as a team and just focus on what's happening on track. George Russell has explained his worry at being stranded in the middle of the track following his late crash at the Australian Grand Prix. The Mercedes driver crashed in avoidance of Fernando Alonso, who was penalized for potentially dangerous driving following a post-race investigation on the penultimate lap at Albert Park. After skating across the gravel at Turn 6, Russell's W15 spun back around and onto its side in the middle of Turn 7, with the floor of the car exposed to oncoming traffic. Race control first threw double yellow flags before upgrading to a virtual safety car, but team radio revealed panicked calls from Russell for the race to be red flagged immediately. Such was his precarious position. Addressing the incident when asked if he had suffered any lasting effects, Russell told media, including Racing News 365, "I'm okay. It was not a pleasant place to be, in the middle of a high-speed corner, on the racing line, and with the VSC taking 10 or 15 seconds to come out. It doesn't sound like a lot, but you can have 3 cars coming around the corner in the space of 10 seconds. When you are doing 250 in a corner, and there is a car in the middle of the road, I was really quite worried." The third story is Mercedes boss Toto Wolff says he wants to punch himself in the nose after double DNF. Toto Wolff has admitted that it is fair to question his position as Mercedes team principal following the Silver Arrow's disappointing start to the 2024 Formula One season. The team's campaign reached new depths at Sunday's Australian Grand Prix as Lewis Hamilton and George Russell both retired to leave Mercedes 71 points back from leaders Red Bull in the constructors' standings after the first 3 races of the season. Mercedes, who have won just 1 race since new design regulations were introduced in 2022, came into 2024 optimistic that an overhaul of their car would enable them to challenge for victories this season. Wolff oversaw a period of historic success as Mercedes won 8 successive constructors' titles between 2014 and 2021, but on Sunday faced questions over whether he has considered his future as team principal. "As a corner of this business, I need to be sure that my contribution is positive and creative," Wolff said. "I would be the first one to say, if someone has a better idea, tell me, because I'm interested to turn this team around as quickly as possible. And I'll happily give my input and see what that would be, or who that could be. We have a physics problem, not a philosophical or organizational problem. We haven't swallowed a dumb pill since 2021. It's just we don't understand some of the behaviors of the car that in the past we would have always understood. I look myself in the mirror every single day about everything I do. And if I believe that I should ask the manager question or the trainer question, I think it's a fair question, but it's not what I feel at the moment that I should do." Wolff is in a unique position among current F1 bosses in that he also holds a 33% ownership stake in the team. The 52-year-old Austrian says that this factor means that his situation cannot be talked about similarly to that of a manager of a football team who might be sacked and then work for another club or simply choose to move elsewhere. He added, The big difference is, it's not like the manager question in terms of, this is my job, I'll stop the job, and then somebody else is doing the job, and I'll go to Chelsea or to Liverpool or over to Ferrari. I haven't got that choice, which is also unfortunate. I'm not a contractor or employee that says, I've had enough of this. My hamster wheel keeps spinning and I can't jump out. I want to punch myself in the nose. Wolff also admitted that the team's continued struggles have left him wanting to punch himself in the nose. Seven-time world champion Hamilton, who is leaving Mercedes to join Ferrari at the end of the season, retired with an engine failure on lap 17, having only qualified 11th, while Russell crashed on the penultimate lap when chasing Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso for 6th. Tough to take, super tough, Wolff said.